Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Very fun and exciting one. Let me bring everybody in here. We're going to say hello to Mr. Paul Corliss.
Howdy, everybody.
Good. How you doing, Paul?
Good.
Keeping busy, huh?
I try.
Nice. All right, we're going to say hello to Mr. Sean.
Good evening.
What's going on, Sean? Good. And then we also tonight have Mr. Rob Schuster.
Howdy. How's it going?
Doing good, Rob. Doing good. Let's see here. First thing I wanted to make sure that we talk a little bit about before we get started is tonight's giveaway sponsor is Cody over there at Cadence Manufacturing and Design. Get your Ginny Bits. CadenceMFGDesign.com. Much appreciate his support with us, and go get your Ginny Bits. So tonight we're going to be giving away one of the upcut Ginny Bits. So thank you very much to Cody. And let's see. Ooh, look at that! Nice.
Yes, I got one of those.
It is. Yeah, I got one too. Very good. So thanks, Cody. Super appreciate it. We're going to be throwing out some hashtags throughout the show, and one of them is the right one. So make sure that you put them all in there, and then we'll draw it at the end here. So we might as well get started with that first of all. And yes, let's start with hashtag birthday. It is the old Ryan's birthday today. So, and as you can tell, I'm on location down in South Carolina. We just got down here this afternoon, or morning really. But good times with that. So throw in a hashtag birthday there. Been a good day so far. Going to wrap it up with a good show here. But first, let's talk about me later. Let's talk about the rest of the panel. Mr. Sean, what you got going on this week? Have you done any more work with the train stuff, or what are you working on? Sean looks frozen. Sean is now petrified.
It's funny. I told Darius wasn't freezing up.
He moved for a second. All right, yeah, you're glitching a little bit. I'll come back over to you. We'll move to Paul. Paul, have you had anything going on this week?
I played around with the laser a little bit. One of these days I'll get good at it.
Nice.
Played around with the laser a little bit, and then I also made a special sled for my table saw. I make little boxes, and I need a really accurate 45-degree miter on them. So I made a little sled for my table saw so I can get a good miter and everything. So that's about all I did.
Nice. Hey, work is work.
Work is work.
I want to do for my table saw, but I don't have any sleds or anything for my table saw. But I have this Ryobi table saw that it has like a weird. It doesn't have like the normal tracks that go on the surface of it. It's got like a weird shape to it, and so you have to like. I'm gonna 3D print some stuff out, but whatever. We'll get there at some point. It looks like we got Sean back with us instead of petrified.
Sorry about that. My internet keeps acting up lately.
It's been like that. It's all right, man.
Does it work? Am I working?
Yeah, you're looking good now.
Sweet.
Everybody's
always.
Look how good Rob is looking down there. I don't think Rob's ever looked that nice, and his internet's all wonky. So
doing good tonight, then.
Yeah. So what do you got going on, Sean? Anything special?
Well, so far I've been. You know what? I feel bad because I haven't used my CNC router for a little bit, but I've been using the laser quite a bit and also the 3D printer. So, and trying my hand at doing building.
Oh wow!
So this will be a 7-story little skyscraper on one of the layouts.
Oh,
And
that's
this
cool.
is just one of several layers. But yeah, I found a facade that I liked online, and then I just started going to town and drawing out the windows and got the first cut. I'm impressed. I'm happy with it. It should look good when it's finished.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks very good.
Yeah. But
Rob, what did
I
you
do feel bad. No router.
That's all right. I haven't been able to touch mine for a little while. I heard a little birdie tell me that he has a router and a laser that have been buried because he's been working on a camper.
He actually unburied them lately. He actually got them out. Oh,
Maybe. I don't know. Rob, what have you been working on, bud?
Lots of stuff. Let me just share the screen. It's easier to show that way
Sure.
than
Yeah, let's try to make it big. Oh, there we go. We'll make you big and make that.
Oh
work.
man. Entire screen. Nope, wrong one. Is that working?
Not yet. Oh, there you are. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me get you. There we go. Whoop.
Okay, so first thing, can you see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. My brother-in-law asked for one of these, so I cut that out today. Just threw it together and came pretty nice. Just a change tray or a coin tray, what do you call that?
Nice.
Still needs a little bit of sanding, but it's gonna be nice.
That's a heavy piece of wood.
Yeah. It's about 9 inches. It's just like glued 2 pieces of scrap wood together to get it. It's one of those things. She'll give me a beer for it, so I'll be happy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I was
that
talking about-
looks nice and clean.
Yeah, that was about 45-minute job in total. And I'll spend longer sanding than I did.
that's at least 2 beers.
Yeah, it probably is. He would pay a lot more than that, but I don't let family. We're all that way. You don't want family to. You want them to owe you, not you to owe them. So
Yeah, that looks good.
I
It's
got
too bad there's not a way you can weight that thing to make it weigh 45 pounds.
Then he could just use a real barbell. Then
Yeah.
How are you going to finish it? Are you going to do it like an ebony stain or something like that, or?
no, I'll just throw a quick finish on it.
Okay.
As I'm speaking of finishes and drum, or my other projects, drums. That's that Zercote I was telling you about. That drum.
Whew.
That's the staves. Then here's the
That's
drum.
pretty. Oh,
Oh
that's
wow.
That's I told you I did the epoxy on that. I did a YouTube short on that. So there's a 1-minute video out there on my channel if you want to see on that one.
All right, so
I'm still
that's raw, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I get
on
mixed
that?
up.
I think you're
There's
right.
there's 3 different symbols on there, and there's the Ankh and the Scarab and this one, and he had a different name for it, but you might be right. You might be right. I can't remember all the Egyptian names, but it came out real nice. That came out real nice.
I mean, it looks like from the picture, it looks like a sticker. Like it doesn't even look like
Yeah.
ink.
Yeah,
That
and I threw water on that just to get the darker color. There's no finish on it yet.
Wow.
And I'm really trying to figure out the right finish to put on Zercote, because when I did some test pieces and I did my oil-based poly, and it really got dark. That dark wood was too dark. It kind of blended. It all looked black instead of you could see different colors. So I've been experimenting. I think I'm going to go with shellac. I think that's the best one for not darkening the wood. So we'll see.
It's Anubis.
That sounds right.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, it's got 6 symbols, 3 symbols times 2. The opposite side of this one again.
Man, that is good looking.
And I'm playing with another drum. This is still on the machine, but I did a Flourish V-carve on that drum, and
Ooh.
it's going to be my prettiest drum ever. And it's actually much easier than a lot of these other drums. A lot easier. V-carving is so cool and so easy.
Wow. That's going to be phenomenal.
That's a Jenny Downcut 90, by the way. Hey, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Yeah. I just love those V down cuts or down shear, whatever the proper terminology is. They so much less chipping when it's pushing down instead of just jerking the wood sideways. I really like that.
Wow.
Where
So
did you
far,
get
everyone
the
I've
design for
talked
that?
to.
Say again?
Where did you get the design for that?
I found it on Etsy,
Neat.
and I had to tweak it a little bit to get it. I still spent several hours modifying the file to get it to work right, but because I wanted it to, how to explain it? It sends you a basic file, and I have to have it repeat multiple times to wrap on the drum. So I spent a lot of time getting it to work just right, so it repeats and wraps around the drum. But nothing crazy different on there, but a little bit different.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be fantastic when it's all finished.
Yeah, and
Oof.
like I say, the V carving itself took about 2.5 hours. And well, you heard me talking about the other drum before we were on the show, that epoxy thing. I did 22 separate epoxy pours, and you have to let it set up for hours between. That was on my CNC machine for weeks, tying that machine up. I couldn't do anything else with it because once it's on there, I can't do anything until it's up. I've got all skimmed back off and done. So, yeah, this was, well, I didn't take it off, but I could have this one on and off in 3 or 4 hours from start to finish. That's just, I've been doing these long, complex drums, and I figured it's time to get back to basics and do something I can do in a weekend instead of a month. I like this
For
design.
basics, that's impressive.
Yeah.
We say I'm still amazed with V carving, but just a piece of software takes a basic shape and does that. It's just,
Man, I can't wait to see that one done.
yeah.
That's
That's going to be sweet. All right. Well, yeah.
That's all I've been working on for the past couple weeks.
Sweet. Let me pop you out of there. There we go. And that's Rob's channel there. If you want to go check him out. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, thank you.
With me, well, besides coming down here, I've been working on more of the RC car stuff. I got all the body parts printed out for my car, which is the orange car. And then tragedy struck. Moment of silence for my Ender 3. The extruder. The extruder. It stripped out, and it started not printing. It started with it not like under extruding full lines around some of the parts, and then it just stopped. So I got to order a new extruder for it, and to get that back up and running. But it's only like $30, so it'll get back up and moving. Yeah. Yeah. See, now the downside to that whole thing is that I've been talking about the K1 and the bamboo machines and all that stuff. Well, somebody I didn't have time to put it up as something I can show up here on the screen. But somebody on one of the Facebook groups actually has, if you have a Micro Center near you and you're thinking about getting a K1 from Creality, there's a $200 coupon that you can use, which makes the thing under $400. So if somebody wants it, wants that code or whatever, the barcode or whatever, just shoot me an email down here to rballarddesigns@hotmail.com, and I'll forward it over to you. I thought it was pretty awesome. I think the list price at Micro Center is like $569 or something like that. So it brings it down to like $369. Even if you go to Creality's website, I think they have it for $539 or something like that right now. So that's a good deal if you have a Micro Center near you. So jump on it. Let me know if you need it. Also, if you have any suggestions on what we're doing, I'm trying different things with the description. I'm putting in links to some of the videos that we're talking about now. And other bits and pieces. So if there's anything that you guys out there want to see or have suggestions to make the show better for everybody, throw them out there to that email, and we'll see what I can do about making the show better, because we want the show to be better. It can't get much worse. Besides that, not a whole lot was going on this week for me, for as far as in creating stuff. That was the big downfall was the other day. So I was going to bring it down here to the beach just to keep printing stuff out and having it for finishing up RJ's car. But with the extruder down, didn't bother bringing it down. So we'll work on that next week. But, all right, let's see here. As always, we do have to bring up that there is only 96 days until the start of the 2023 Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge. So make sure that you start your projects. It's a good time to start. You got 3 months to get something going and shooting a video, and then you can put it up the day after Thanksgiving, and you're all done. So I'm going to work with Mr. Dave and try to make it the biggest one yet. So get on that. And also, we got the Maker's Rock coming as well. It's only 251 days away, so
a little more time.
A little bit more time.
To procrastinate.
Focus on the Christmas challenge first, then do Maker's Rock. And if you're me, you're still not done with last year. So good times.
Well,
good times.
Now, Ryan, I already see the first hashtag.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I put that out there.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, seeing as how I'm down at the beach at the moment, I think everybody should just go ahead and put in hashtag beach. That might be a good one to put in too. So throw that in there. I think it's fun having multiple hashtags. I don't know about anybody else, but I get a kick out of this. So, but anyway, let's start talking about some of the videos that have stuff that's come out this week as far as the news and all that other stuff. First, real quick, we'll do a little Maslow update. I pulled up. Let me see if I can look at it right now because I had it on here. Last week we were at over $600,000, I think, and right now I'm waiting for it to load up. We have 12 days left to go. Well, they have 12 days left to go. It's not loading. Come on. What's going on here? There we go. $725,168. I think that's going to be a successful Kickstarter for those guys. So, good
do
for them.
you remember the original goal?
The original goal says $197,000.
Well, they surpassed
So,
that.
they're doing well with it. So I hope that they keep at it. Maybe I can get a hold of them or something. Maybe they'd like to come on in a couple weeks and talk a little bit more about it and about what they've changed and all that stuff over the time. It might be kind of cool. I don't know. I'll reach out and see what we can get done. It'd be pretty cool. Good for them. I don't think that they're going to hit the million that I was talking about last week, but they'll probably at least hit 800, I would think, in the next 12 days. Who knows? Pretty cool. So, all right, let's see here. So Bamboo. This is crazy stuff that happened this week. There's 2 videos down in the description that really talk about this. One from 3D Musketeers and one from Nathan Builds Robots. And what evidently has happened, they go into a lot more detail of it, but what evidently happened on the 15th of this month, so just this past week, there was 2 times when their cloud service went down. And not only did it go down, but when it came back up, it sent jobs out to a bunch of the printers that were on and waiting for a job. Really scary. I, I mean, you've a lot of these people. There's a bunch of pictures that they show on both of those videos about how people already had jobs printed on their machine, and the machine just went and tried to print again on top of the other print, and like destroying the hot ends of machines and stuff like that. I mean,
But the moment it rehomes itself, it's going to slam it right into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of pictures of people that were happening. I mean, who knows how many this actually happened to, but it was it looked pretty devastating. I was trying to think about it. I was like, oh well, the obvious thing is, why are you leaving your printer on overnight? Like if you're like just on all the time, with I guess some people do that, but I don't know why. Have you ever just left yours on, Sean, just randomly for days on end or anything? I always
No,
shut
not
mine off.
randomly.
Yeah.
This one is actually on right now. I need to go change the job out and start another one, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Paul,
I'll
have
let it
you ever
run
left yours
overnight.
on? Yeah,
Nope.
like I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, I always shut mine off as soon as it's done. But I was also thinking about all the stuff I've been printing out with the cars, and some of the stuff I've been printing overnight, and it might stop or it might finish sometime during the night and then just still be on. But so I guess it could happen like if I was using a bamboo printer or something like that. But man, that is frightening to have something like that happen. That there was no user input whatsoever. It just sent it to the machines and said go. I mean,
Big
what
learning
if?
experience.
Oh yeah. I mean, well they in the response from Bamboo, that you can kind of read between the lines that they're blaming the customers for any damage that happened. It's like, well, it wasn't their fault that it tried to print again, But whew, it one, I don't want my printers ever to be online like that. Like it just seems like it's a security risk, and I mean I try to turn them off when I'm not using them. So I don't see a need to be out at the mall and go, you know what I need? I need another Benchy, and I need to get on my phone and start. I need that Benchy to be
Sure
ready
now.
before I get home. I mean, like, I don't know, whatever. But I guess some people do it. So, but I don't recommend it. I don't think that's good. But you don't have any printers, do you, Rob?
Nope.
Not
Nope.
yet. We
We don't
gotta
have
get.
time for more hobbies yet.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you on that. Oof. Well, so yeah, so if you guys check out those videos below in the description on that, it's pretty interesting stuff though about what they're talking about and just the ramifications of it happening. People store stuff inside some of these printers. And the printer's
Right.
getting a couple hundred degrees, it could just cause a fire. Like, it knocks over. Somebody. Why would you ever put acetone inside your printer? But I'm sure somebody does. And that thing would just start going around knocking it over, and it could get bad doing that stuff. So, but not cool, not cool.
You kind of reminded me, Bourbon Moth. He did that video a few months ago on how spontaneous combustion.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch
Yeah,
the video today.
that was the next thing we were going to talk about was his camper update.
Yeah.
And then he in I guess from what he was saying in it, he had a rag sitting out overnight
Yeah, on a
flattened
trash can.
of a trash can. In the middle of the next day, it caught fire and said it burned through the lid of the trash can, caught the stuff inside the trash can on fire, and then lit his fence on fire. The fire trucks and everything came. So, oof,
Yeah.
that is frightening. I don't know if I really want to use boiled linseed oil ever.
Well, I use a lot of oil-based polys have some boiled linseed oil in them. So
True.
any oily rag I ever have, I just lay it on the concrete, away from anything. Just leave it there overnight till it's solid. The next day, but I know
Put it
some
in
things
a,
do it, some things don't. So I don't. Everything that's oily, I leave on the cement for overnight.
or put it in a one of the fire cans or something like that. I know once my shop is closer to being done, in the next 5 years by the time at this point, I'm going to get a fire can just to make sure that any rags that I do have, they go right into that. So, oof. Yeah, his camper though is looking pretty good.
That's a cool series. It's funny. I'm following 2 people who are doing a camper build right now.
Oh, another one's Mr. Dave Gatton.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that sucker up onto the trailer.
I
Also-
hope
Literally rose a house.
Yeah,
I hope Bourbon Moth, when he gets that done, weighs it to see how much that thing weighs.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's putting a lot of big plywood in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hope he's got a good pickup to pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a heavy beast. She's gonna look pretty, but she is gonna be heavy. That's for sure. Oof.
Now, back to the boiled linseed oil. Jason in the comments just mentioned dunking a rag in water. I've heard, this might be an urban legend, so I'm not swearing this is true, but I've heard you take it out of the water, once it dries out, that chemical reaction will start again. And even stuff that's been dunked in water can ignite still. That might not be true, but just sort of, I don't know.
Well, if you go back to the other video that he did when he was doing all the testing on them, he had one that he put it out with a fire extinguisher, and it was out in the driveway, and it never washed it off or anything. But even with the fire extinguisher fluid or dust on it or whatever, it caught fire again. So that's pretty. That's not. I mean, maybe you should do like a preemptive fire and just burn all the rags.
That sounds fun.
At least you know that it's burning and it'll burn it off, and then you don't have to worry about it. But, oof, that's scary. There's some scary stuff out there with that. And it kind of surprised me though that he, yes, he had it laid out flat and all that out there to dry, but that one he didn't check on it or put it into. He has a fire can, so just throw it in the fire can.
Right.
It was just he probably wasn't thinking about it at that moment, and it caught fire.
Does that go along with practice what you preach, or?
Well, I mean, I would think after doing all those experiments, and he was hoping that maybe one of the things would have caught fire, and he had 3. One of them did it a second time. That it would just scare the crap out of you enough to, always be really mindful of it. But
Yeah, he said these he laid out flat, so they weren't compressed in a ball like the other tests have been. These were, I don't know. I'm surprised this one happened, but obviously it did catch on fire. So something we need to be respectful of.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with it. So get yourself a fire can if you don't have one, and
or fire
put
pit.
your rags in there. Yeah, or fire pit. At least it goes out.
Me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then did you see how Dave put his camper onto his trailer?
Yeah.
I wish those guys from across the street would have come over and helped him with that, because that looks like it took forever to do.
One man band, man. That's
Yeah. When you're doing it by yourself, you do what you have to do, and he did.
If you think about it, the cool thing is that's pretty much how they lift a house to move a house.
Oh yeah.
They just jack that baby up and then put the trailer underneath, and away it goes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
For a one-man band, that was pretty smart. That was pretty slick.
Oh
I
yeah,
was impressed.
yeah. I can't wait to see it done. When he does the Raptor liner on it with that green, that's gonna look really sweet.
That is.
Can't wait to see it.
You know,
Can't wait to
real
see.
quick,
Yeah.
talking about Dave, he started doing his Gatton CNC kits again.
Oh yes, that was
And
also true. Yeah,
did you see the one he stained? That dark
that was
stain.
the original.
That
That,
looks sharp.
yeah. That was his original one that he built for the video series, and so that one's like 7 years old or something like that. But yeah, Dave's having. If you're interested in doing a Gatton CNC kit, he said the beginning of September he'll have some available. So jump on them because they don't come around very often. So
And
it's
it's
good
a
to see.
great way to learn and start.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Let's see here.
I haven't heard that. That's good news. I'd pushed people his direction in the past, and he'd stop doing it. And oh well, I guess I'll quit pushing people that direction. But if he's doing it again, I will recommend it to you.
He's
For the
rolling.
bang for the buck, you just can't beat it. I mean, yeah, you
Oh,
got to
yeah.
spend. If you don't count your labor yourself, you cannot get an equal machine for that price.
Yeah.
No two ways about it.
Nope. And it's a great machine.
And the time you invest, it's all learning. You're learning
Yeah.
everything about that piece of equipment, that machine.
And it's not like on mine's obviously a testament of it doesn't need to be 100%, 1000% perfect. Because if you look at the front of mine where the upper rails go across, there's 4 screws that are missing right in the middle, and that was because when those screws got in there, it jacked the rail up a little bit.
Whoops.
Worked perfectly fine without those screws in there, so we're leaving them out.
Don't you hate that when you find a screw on the floor and you think, what did this come from? It had to be the CNC, but I have no idea where it's from.
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many screws missing out of it already. I do kind of want to go and put like real short screws into those spots, just so it looks like that they're there, even though they're not doing anything.
Super glue a couple heads in the spot.
Pop them in there. And then down the road, somebody goes to take it apart. What the hell are these heads? There's nothing behind it. Fun times. Oh, fun times. Let's see here. Do we have any questions out there? Anybody wanting that we need to pop up or anything? Let's see.
I haven't seen questions per se.
That's when you mentioned when you mentioned your issues with your 3D printer. You reminded me of something that happened to me the past few days. I have a water cooled spindle on my CNC on the flatbed, not the rotary, and I have a little spinner in there, and the spinner it was getting slower and slower over the past few weeks, and finally it stopped. And so I ordered a new pump, and today I drained the water, just to put it in and get inside there. I find a kink inside the bucket where the hose is. I find a kink, so I thought, oh, crap. So I unkink it, go turn the power on. It's that wheel spinning again, just like
Whoops.
So I had to clean.
It was time
to clean out, put new fluid in and stuff. But it was could have saved myself
Never
a lot of
hurts to
time.
have a backup, Rob.
Yeah.
I should have a backup. That's true.
Yeah. Having a backup with the water cooled is probably a good idea anyway. But yeah, I hate when that happens. It's the way that it always goes. You buy a part for something and then you realize that you didn't need it or whatever. And but at least you found the problem and it didn't jack up your spindle. Let's see, 100,000 by 1,000 X-Car for 3 years. Considering getting a 4x4 Infinity with a water cooled spindle. Anything I should consider?
Jenny bits.
I'll go first. I have a water cooled, and I'm in Arizona. It's 100, 105, 110 all the time. I'm running that CNC. So to me, water cooled is important. But most people in America, I think air cooled is a lot easier and is probably the way to go. But for my instance, I wanted a water cooled, especially for somewhere it gets cold in the winter. And
I have a water cooled, and my workshop's in my basement, and that's why I went to a water cooled, is because it's much, much quieter.
Yeah.
Of course, I think you've mentioned this before, Rob, is that once that bit contacts the wood, well, all bets are off. And that's true, but it is quieter overall, but
Mhm.
it's still noisy. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
But,
No, my
and
first
then go ahead.
my first years, I had just a Makita. No, I'm sorry, Hitachi router, and I had just a shop vac, and it was loud. Even though it's not touching the wood, that was loud out there. And now I have a Harbor Freight dust collection and water cooled. It's so much quieter now. And if I'm doing something that doesn't, if I'm looking at a 3D carve, that doesn't make that much noise. So it is a lot quieter then. But when you're hogging that material, it's going to be noisy no matter what.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Hopefully that was some info. They Paul does have a Onefinity, and so
Yep.
they seem like good machines. I've never been up close to one, so I can't talk about them. But they
I
look
really,
like they're nice machines.
it's the only machine I've had. So, but I really like it. It's a great machine.
If I were going to design a machine, they've done the things I always thought you need to do. These belt drive machines, I mean, they're out there and people get good results with them, but any kind of ball screw or lead screw is, to me, a lot superior. And I don't know, it's a sturdy machine. The Onefinity, if I was going to buy one and I didn't tell them to buy a Gatton, I would tell them to buy a Onefinity.
You don't have to worry about the backlash, like on the belt.
Yeah, it's real simple to put together. You
Yep.
can be up and running in pretty much an
Any
hour.
problems I've had have been user error.
That needs to be a shirt. Just my problems are user error. Well, now I'll have to laser that one. Cut holes in another shirt. Get choked out by that small shirt. That was funny though. I enjoyed doing that when I wore that shirt for Dave. Let's see here.
Yep, one just popped.
Here, what's Cody's talking about here? I really like what Nick Nosinger's been working on. He built a spindle kit with a VFD that communicates with the spindle. If the spindle bogs, the VFD automatically increases the RPM. Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
I already have one, but I have a 1.5 kilowatt, which is the 2 horsepower.
Yeah.
Which is in theory about what I had when I had the router in the past, but it has a lot less torque at low RPMs, and I can bog it down and bring it to a complete stop pretty easy if I'm got my servicing bit on there. So I'm curious about what he's talking about there. Of course, I already have a paid for spindle, and I'm cheap. I don't want to put another spindle on. That sounds very, very interesting to me because I don't have enough power at low end. It's always been an issue I have. Troy mentioned also for the person considering that water cooled do a lot slower RPM. If you're going to cut metal or something and you want low RPM, you want water cooled.
Very good point. Yeah, the air cooled you can only go a certain amount, but with the air cooled you don't have to deal with water. You don't have to deal with changing the water. You don't have to worry about burning it up because your meter, whatever hose gets kinked, stuff like that. So there's definitely pluses and minuses to both. Have fun. That's the main part. Let's see here. Just looking at.
What are you guys using for coolers to cool your spindle? Just a bucket and a pump?
Just
I've
got a little plastic bin, and the pump sits down in there, and I run just regular automotive antifreeze through it.
I use RV antifreeze 50-50 with, but yeah, same difference. But I think you need to have something like that because corrosive issues with just plain old water or tap water.
Yeah, I think you're right that if nothing else, the corrosive protection is a good idea.
I was just right. Jr. He was talking about not using a chiller. I use it says it's a chiller. It's the 3000 CW. It's just a
Okay.
cooler, but that's what I actually use on my my CNC router. It's a small tank and everything's self-contained. It makes it easy, and they're not that expensive, unlike the chillers themselves.
Right. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
cooler, it's basically it's a radiator, and so it can get it down. It's trying to get it just back to nominal
Room
room temperature, and although a chiller can actually chill it past room temperature. So
Which those are good on lasers.
yeah, so depends on where you're using it at. Would
For-
be the use case for that too.
A spindle just doesn't put out that much heat. I mean,
Mhm.
I'll run that thing hard for hours and it'll be 5-10 degrees above room temperature, which in Arizona can be hot. But again, I read the specs. I'm still well below any danger levels.
Yeah,
They don't produce that much heat.
unless they get run out of water.
That's,
Then they get warm.
I've got that little spinner. I watch that spinner pretty close. I even have a thermostat on the spinner so I can see the water's 98 degrees or whatever. Quick glance, I can see the spinner and the temperature.
Nice.
The spinner's a good idea. I don't have one on mine. I just, when I turn it on, I watch to see if the bubbles move.
Oh.
That's how I tell if the pump's working.
Gosh, it was cheap too. The spinner. I mean, I got it was Amazon. I'm going to say it was $20 or less, and it's a spinner and a little 5-volt. It runs on 5 volts, so the same thing you have for your cell phone. You use one of those, and
Yeah.
it has a temperature gauge. Lights up, tells you what your water temperature is. It's
Neat.
probably not that big a deal, but it's fun. So
Very cool. Well, hey, there's another hashtag down there. Everybody should just go ahead and throw that one in there too while they're at it.
okay.
We'll
Hashtag Uptown.
we'll find out which the real one is here in a couple minutes, and we'll draw a name. Again, thanks to Cody, Mr. Cody over there at Cadence Manufacturing and Design. If
Over
you
there
don't win
showing
tonight,
some love.
it's okay. Go order some bits. His stuff with the Kickstarter he's been putting out his bits right on time for everybody. They're beautiful, so they work great. So make sure you go out there and support our buddy that supports us.
And so
Good
far
deal.
on all of his stuff, especially the down cuts, I've heard nothing but praise on his down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are a wonderful cutting tool. Getting
I'm the biggest fan of
duplicated,
the
but
compression bit,
never
which is
replicated.
the original Jenny, the compression. That's the one that I sing the praises of them. Well, I like the downcut V bits, but people talk compression bits all the time, but usually they're optimized for industrial machines. So for us, compression bits mean nothing because you have to be cutting like a whole sheet of plywood, full thickness, one pass. But
Yeah.
Cody's is optimized for hobbyists, so
Yeah.
it's optimized
I
to
have
cut
one and I love
an
it.
eighth of an inch or so. I don't know what the exact number is, but yeah, you're not cutting so deep, and you get the best of that world for
Yeah.
our hobby machines. So
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh,
Got a star for you.
okay. There's one. What's the lowest RPM you can run on the water cooled spindle? Rob, I mean, you can pretty much set that as
it'll go
one.
down to 0 or whatever. But I think again at low RPMs, I question how much torque it has.
Yeah.
So it might bog really easy, but it'll go down to 100 or 200. I think I've never tried, and it won't hurt anything. It's going to keep cool. It doesn't need that fan to cool it, but
Yeah.
there might be
Big
torque issues.
circuit
at low
boards.
RPM.
Good
You
deal.
mentioned the fan. That's another thing I really like about the water cooled spindle is there's no fan blowing air down where you're cutting
Bingo.
and getting dust all over the place.
Keith was cutting some PVC today. That's my favorite material. I love cutting PVC. Smooth as glass. That's
I
right.
still need to try that.
Oh, it's great. It
That's my
cuts so
excuse to
nice.
fire up the router.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Well, it's time. Let's go ahead and get this thing drawn here for us. And let me go back there. Look at that real quick. Yep. Had to just confirm which one I picked. Tonight's hashtag was hashtag birthday. So let me, because I'm on my iPad, when I go over there, I can't do the screen share on it, but I can see it and be able to draw it for us here. So you'll just have to believe me when I tell you who won. So I'm going to go over here. Oh, look, it's Ryan. Ryan won. We're going to go ahead and hit draw, and it's going. Let's see here. Who do we have? Oh, you won't even believe it. I have to take a screenshot here. And there we go. Let me go back here. You ready? There he is.
Oh, I can't. Thank you.
You want me to throw it again? All right,
Yeah.
I'll spin it again then. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Draw it again. Here it goes. All right. Let's see here. It's going.
This is the first time I've won, though.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Oh, there's a good winner for us. There we go. This is a man that I've known for a good while, and I think this man deserves to have won this thing. So I'm glad for him. I'm real happy. Mr. Clyde.
Hey.
Clyde
There you
won.
go.
So,
Congrats.
congratulations, Clyde. Send your info over there to Cody, and he'll send out that upcut Jenny for you. And thank you very much for playing along tonight. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's it for tonight. It's time to get out of here. So, thank you everybody for all the birthday wishes and all that stuff earlier. I appreciate that. I'm somewhat worthy, not really worthy, but it's all good. I actually share my
Happy
birthday
birthday.
with two people in my.
To you.
Don't see me
Happy birthday.
I'm 40
To
years
you.
old. Don't say me happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My grandfather on my and one of my aunts, we all shared the same birthday, and unfortunately they both passed on now. So I'm holding down the 819 strong. So it's good times. So all right, guys. Well, Sean, you got anything before we get out of here?
Have a wonderful night, everybody. And again, happy birthday.
I appreciate that. So thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Anything?
Happy birthday, Ryan. And everybody, if you use boiled linseed oil, be awful careful with those rags.
Heck yeah. Mr. Rob.
That's happy birthday wishes to you, man. Have a good evening.
All right. Well, hey, there it is. That's who I'd like to thank for helping us out tonight with the giveaway and all that good stuff. Thank you, Mr. Cody. Everybody should go out there and support him. And thanks for playing along. So we'll see you guys. There won't be a show next week because I'll be traveling back home to Maryland. So you don't want to see me in a hotel. So we're going to skip next week, and we'll be back the week after, and then we're back in full swing of things, and we shouldn't be missing any for a good while. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you later. Peace out, Sauerkraut.